One last little review video. This is the last problem on your packet. A lot of questions. I'd help people with this. We didn't get a chance to go over all of it in class. Find the distance from point M to point N. So we're talking about this distance right here. Remember that you can use the distance formula if you want, but the distance formula is just the difference between those two. So if that's 2 and that's 3, our distance here is 2 squared plus 3 squared, which is the square root of 13. Same thing here, find the distance from N to P. You can use the distance formula, it'll be available, but more likely you're going to just make a little triangle here, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So NP, 4 squared plus 6 squared, which is 36 plus 16, 52. What is the midpoint of MP? So for midpoint, if you can count over and up, do that. I'm going to review the formula. So M is negative 6, 0, and P is 3, negative 2. The midpoint formula, we add the 2 and divide it by 2. And we add the 2 and divide it by 2. So this is negative 3 halves, or 1 1/2, negative 1 1/2, negative 1. So if you want to see negative 1 1/2, negative 1, if you put those, you should be able to get approximately the midpoint. When you look at this on the picture, it should look like it's halfway. And so this is one you wouldn't have been able to count very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not 5, we're 4 1/2 and 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 1/2 and 1. So right there is the middle. It says plot point R so that NR equals 5. Now there's multiple answers here. This is N, we need an R that's 5 points away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be a place for R. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be R. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be R. Basically anything that fits in this circle. You could also go diagonally to get an R as well. And to do that, you need a triangle that is 3 squared plus 4 squared, because that's 25, which is 5. So you could go over 3, 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would also be there. You could go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 3. That would be there. And you see eventually you just make this big circle around R. It says what are the coordinates of R? Pick any one of those that you chose. So negative 3, negative 3, 2, 2, doesn't matter. It says given A 3, 6, plot it on your coordinate plane and find the midpoint of PA. So we're going to plot 3, 6. And that is called A. And we want to find the midpoint of PA. So PA right here. So I'm going to find the distance from that and see if I can just find it by counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the midpoint is definitely halfway there. It's 3, 2. If you're doing this as a formula, P is 3, negative 2. So you can just add 3 plus 3 divided by 2. 6 plus negative 2 divided by 2, and you get your 3, 2 that way as well. So midpoint formula, distance formula, similar using coordinates, but distance formula we subtract and square it. Midpoint formula we add and divide by 2. The nice thing about using your coordinate plane is if you wanted to find, say, the slope of MN, you already have it. You have rise over run. The slope there is 2/3. And the slope here, since this was 4 and 6, would be negative 4/6 or negative 2/3. And so remember that parallel slopes are the same and perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. So if the question might be on something that says what's a line perpendicular to NP? Say, well, if negative 4/6, that reduces to negative 2/3. The perpendicular line would be having a slope of 3/2. So I could pick any point and start and go up 3 to the right 2, and that's going to be perpendicular to this point or this line right here. Anywhere I go, anything parallel to that's going to be perpendicular to that line. Okay, so when you have these questions with coordinate planes, just read them carefully. There's another one like this on the other video as well that if you want a little extra practice, there's definitely going to be one on the final that involves some thinking and plotting and calculating there.